Most people think the choice is simple: pay off debt so you can finally breathe, or invest early so your future has more time to grow. But both choices come with a cost. Debt can compound against you while you sleep. Investing can compound for you if you start early enough. The hard part is knowing which one deserves the next dollar, because the wrong delay can become expensive. Ryan's raise showed up quietly on payday. By the time he reached his apartment mailbox, the money already had enemies waiting for it. Credit card interest, student loans, and car payments were not abstract numbers anymore. They were claims on income he had not even enjoyed yet. That night, Ryan called the credit card company and asked how much interest had been added that month. The representative's voice was polite, but the number was not. Ryan realized the debt was not waiting for him to feel ready. It was working every day, whether he looked at it or not. Maya saw her raise while riding the train home. The extra money was not enough to change her life immediately, but on the train window, her reflection looked older than the investment calculator wanted her to be. To her, waiting felt like losing a resource she could never earn back. Maya did not begin with a fantasy of getting rich. She noticed that her employer would match part of her retirement contribution. If she ignored it, she was not just avoiding risk. She was leaving part of her compensation unused. That Friday, Ryan almost joined his friends for dinner. Then a credit card reminder lit up his phone. He was not broke, but his money was already assigned. Paying off debt began with a small social cost no spreadsheet could show. Ryan looked at the minimum payment and understood why the balance had survived for so long. The payment looked manageable, but most of it disappeared into interest. That was the trap. Debt did not need him to fail. It only needed him to move slowly. Maya did not start by gambling on a hot stock. She started with the employer match in her benefits portal. It felt practical, almost boring, but boring was exactly why she trusted it. Maya found videos promising fast gains, but she did not trust them. The more serious material all said the same thing: diversify, keep costs low, think long term. That was less exciting than quick profit, but it felt more like adulthood. Ryan went to ClearPath Credit Union and asked for a payoff plan. The counselor showed him why the credit card had to come first. The student loan was bigger, but the card was faster. He was not choosing comfort. He was choosing to stop the bleeding. Ryan realized the extra payment would not come only from motivation. It needed space. He canceled subscriptions he barely used and changed a few habits he had stopped noticing. The debt plan became less emotional and more operational. After the employer match, Maya opened a small, low-cost brokerage account. She did not expect quick wealth. She wanted the habit to begin before life became more expensive. For her, investing early meant giving time a job. At the Investor Hub, Maya learned something that made her pause. Money invested for the long term should not be money needed next month. That did not make investing wrong. It meant growth money needed a different job than safety money. Ryan sent $600 to the highest interest card. The sacrifice felt large. The balance barely moved. That was the cruel beginning of debt payoff. The first payments often feel like throwing buckets at a fire. Ryan knew willpower would not survive every month, so he scheduled the extra payment before the money could disappear. It felt strict, almost unforgiving, but he needed the plan to act before his moods did. Maya's first contribution posted before she fully felt the money missing. The balance was small, but the habit was real. She liked knowing that part of her paycheck had left the present. It was going somewhere the future could use it. The first contribution made Maya's paycheck smaller. Nothing went wrong, but daily life felt tighter. Investing early sounded noble in theory. In practice, it meant choosing future comfort over present flexibility. Ryan picked up an extra weekend shift to push the debt down faster. It was not inspiring. It was tiring, repetitive, and invisible to everyone else. But each hour bought back a piece of income that interest had been taking. Around the same time, Ryan saw a weekend certification course that could help him earn more. The course was not impossible to afford, but taking it would slow the debt payoff plan. For the first time, he understood the deeper cost of debt. It did not only take money, it made future investment feel irresponsible. Maya's investing habit changed how she saw herself. She started attending finance workshops, asking better questions, and planning earlier. The account was still small, but it pulled her into rooms where her future felt more real. Maya's small investment habit changed the rooms she entered. She began attending finance workshops, asking better questions, and planning earlier. The account was still small, but her behavior was already different. Months passed, and Ryan became very good at saying no. No dinners, no trips, No new clothes, no course he wanted to take. The debt was shrinking, but his life started to feel smaller than the plan itself. At first, Ryan thought saying no only saved money. After enough weekends, the invitations became less frequent. He was making progress, but the plan was quietly shrinking his world. Debt had taken his money first. Repayment was now asking for time, connection, and patience. Maya's investment account had its first green month. Then her credit card statement arrived. The investment gain felt encouraging, but the interest charge felt immediate. She realized two forms of compounding were now moving in opposite directions. That night, Maya put the investment gain and the credit card interest side by side. The gain made her proud, the interest made her quiet. For the first time, she saw two forms of compounding arguing inside the same paycheck. When Ryan's car needed repairs, the debt plan almost broke. He did not want to use the credit card again, but he also did not have much cash because every extra dollar had been attacking debt. He learned that debt payoff without a small buffer can become brittle. The car repair taught Ryan that aggression alone was not enough. If every spare dollar went to debt, one surprise could push him backward. So he kept a small cash buffer beside the payoff plan. It slowed the debt attack, but made the plan less fragile. Maya faced a similar repair, but she chose the credit card. Her investments were meant for the future, and selling them felt wrong. The bill was due now, so the present borrowed again while the future stayed invested. The repair was over in one afternoon. The credit card balance stayed behind for months. That was what bothered Maya most. A short problem had become a long payment. Months later, Ryan applied to refinance the auto loan. This time, the lower balances helped. The rate was not magical, but it was better. Debt payoff changed how the system priced him. After the refinance, offers started arriving. Higher credit limits, balance transfers, and newer cars with easier monthly payments. The same system that once punished his debt now rewarded his discipline by offering him more debt. Ryan learned that better credit was access, not permission. Maya applied for an apartment closer to work. Her income was higher and her investments had started to grow. But the application flagged her monthly debt obligations. Assets did not feel like freedom when payments still crowded the present. After the apartment application failed, Maya stayed in the old place. The rent was manageable, but the commute stayed long. Debt did not only cost money, it took time from the life she was trying to build. Ryan's debt balances kept falling, but his investment account stayed almost empty. He had less stress, but not many assets. His past was getting lighter, his future still needed building. Ryan was offered an interview for a higher paying role, but the job came with probation and less predictable hours. Before the debt plan, he might have called it opportunity. Now, uncertainty sounded expensive. He realized debt had not only shaped his budget, it had trained his nervous system to avoid risk. Maya felt divided every month. One part of her paycheck funded future wealth, another part paid for old balances that refused to disappear. She was moving forward and being pulled backward at the same time. Eventually, Ryan made the final credit card payment. Nothing dramatic happened, no one applauded, but one of the loudest bills in his life finally went silent. Then the market fell during a month when Maya already felt stretched. She knew downturns were normal, but the debt payments did not pause just because the market was down. That was the cost of carrying volatility and obligation together. The market drop did not stay on Maya's phone. It followed her into the workday, into meetings, into small pauses between tasks. She understood long-term investing intellectually, but debt made every downturn feel less patient. After the credit card was gone, Ryan did not want to drift. He wrote a new order for the same paycheck. Small buffer, employer match, then investing. Debt payoff had taught him discipline. Now he needed direction. Ryan expected investing to feel like progress right away, but paying debt had given him a clear finish line, while investing gave him a moving screen. Some days the account went up, some days it went down. He realized growth required a different kind of discipline than repayment. Maya did not stop investing completely. She kept enough to capture the employer match. Then she redirected extra money toward the highest interest debt. She was not abandoning the future, she was stopping the present from leaking. Maya stopped treating the credit card as something she could only endure. She called, asked about lowering the rate, and explored a transfer option. The answer was not perfect, but taking action felt different from being charged in silence. When the market dropped, Ryan still felt nervous, but this time the fear was cleaner. He was not watching credit card interest grow behind him. He could stay invested because his past was no longer charging him. Once Maya redirected extra money, The credit card balance began falling faster. Her investing continued in the background. For the first time, progress did not feel like it was fighting itself. The order finally made sense. Without the credit card payment, Ryan's paycheck felt different. Not bigger, but less claimed. Debt payoff had not made him rich. It had returned control over money he was already earning. For the first time in a long while, Ryan said yes to a normal invitation, not because he had become rich, because one dinner no longer threatened the whole plan. Debt payoff had returned ordinary life before it returned wealth. When Maya's laptop needed repair again, she did not add to the card. Her debt payoff progress had created a small cash gap she could use. The bill still hurt, but it did not become another balance that followed her for months. A small freelance opportunity came up on short notice. This time, Maya did not need to borrow for transportation, software, or materials. Lower debt gave her more usable cash. Growth felt different when it was no longer built on pressure. Ryan learned that paying off debt can be a form of return. Every avoided interest charge was money no longer leaving his life. But debt payoff alone did not build the future. It only cleared the ground where the future could begin. Maya learned that investing early is powerful, but it cannot erase expensive debt by itself. Compounding needs time, but debt also uses time. Her mistake was not investing. Her mistake was letting two forces compound in opposite directions. Before you ask whether to pay debt or invest, ask what kind of return is already guaranteed. If debt is charging you more than your investments can reasonably earn, paying it down may be the investment. If debt is manageable and low cost, time in the market may matter more. The smartest choice is not always one side. It is the right order. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.